Nissan! Oh, ARIYA. Oh, by the way, I won't insert this. It's really... I did it and I couldn't get it out. Yeah. Welcome back to Car Chat TV. I'm Oliver, and in today's episode, we're going to be exploring a car that is in an ever competitive place in the market, the Nissan ARIYA. Now, we've seen loads of different SUVs, full EVs, especially on our channel as well. Now, back in 2010, Nissan revolutionized the world with their Nissan Leaf offering. That was well before Elon brought out his Model 3 and whatnot. Now, Nissan are doing extremely well at the moment in the market. They're selling tons of Qashqais, tons of Dukes. They're going for this kind of smoothed off look, this reductionism method. And in today's episode, I'm going to be telling you all of the best features, all the best bits that you need to know about the Nissan ARIYA. I'm taking it out on the road. I'm going to give you a proper, honest review, my opinion. And by the end of this episode, you're going to know if the Nissan ARIYA is an option for you. Okay, before we get going, this is the 63 kilowatt hour advanced trim level, the first trim level you can choose. I'm going to run through all of the best features that you guys get as standard. Awesome illuminated buttons that are ingrained in this faux wood. Look how touch sensitive they are. Center console, we have got drive mode. Here you've got Eco, Sport and Standard. You've got the E-pedal button as well. Press that, you can do one pedal driving. In here, couple of cup holders. Wireless charger there. One thing I do like is they've got a USB-A and USB-C on the front, down there, and on the back. You get two glove compartments. Fancy LED lighting inspired by a Japanese lantern. Alexa is incorporated into your ARIYA. So if you're sitting at home, you can go, Alexa, how much charge do I have? Or if you're in your car and you're on your way home, you can go, Alexa, put on the living room light and turn my PS5 on. The ProPilot system is a button on the steering wheel. Once you press that, the car is allowed to brake and accelerate all by itself and steer for you, keeping it in lane. Some people call it adaptive cruise control. Other manufacturers, smart cruise control. Nissan call it the ProPilot. You get two 12.3-inch screens joined together by this elegant S-curve. In the boot, you've got these very handy removable panels. You can hide your charging cables down there, or you can use it for extra storage. The camera displays are super crisp. You've got 360 display there. Press camera here on the touchscreen. You go for your front tire, really handy when you're parking. And again, front and back cameras. That is very, very cool. Heated everything. Heated seats that you can press here to turn on. You've also got heated steering wheel that you could turn on there, and heated front windscreen and heated rear windscreen. This is possibly my favorite. In fact, it's my favorite. The rugs you get. Oh my gosh, get down and look at this. Look how thick, and you get them front and back. And because it's an EV, there's no transmission tunnel. It runs from literally left to right, and you can just get down. And I wish you could be here and feel this with me. It's so thick, you got a little bit of ARIYA detailing on there as well. Oh, charging. Now with the Nissan ARIYA, you can accept a fast charge up to 130 kilowatts. That'll do the car in 0 to 80% in 31 minutes. If you're charging at home, then you can use a 7.4 kilowatt charger. That's going to give you a full charge in 10 hours. If you're like me and you don't have a wall box, you can use a 2.3 kilowatt wall plug, and that took 32 hours. You can, however, option a 22 onboard kilowatt charger, which will make things a lot faster.
You feel alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, my break a backbone. Return to the Mac, the king is back though.
Okay, let's go for a drive in the Nissan ARIYA. First of all, let's hear some stats. This has got a 214 brake horsepower, 218 far to start, 300 Newton meters of torque. This is the front wheel drive version, the 63 kilowatt hour. 0 to 62 in 7.5 seconds. I will test that out later. That should be fun. More stats. Now, you can get an 87 kilowatt hour battery version. So the 63 kilowatt hour one, which this is, you can get 251 miles. is what Nissan say. However, living in the UK, we struggle with cold weather. For example, I filled mine up to 100% from the wall box, and it said I got 180 miles. So I'm a little bit short, but I think over time when you drive the car, of ownership, you will calibrate the battery and it might work out. But as we know, the range 251 is, you normally won't get that. But I'd love to hear from Nissan ARIYA owners that have had the car for a while. Let me know in the comments what you guys have been getting. Back to the 87 kilowatt hour battery, that will get you 329 miles of range, but it is a £6,000 more than the 63 kilowatt. So I think the Advance is probably the one to go for if you want to try and be a little bit more frugal with your money. There are 4 trim levels. This is the front wheel drive version, 63 kilowatt hour Advance. Then you've got the Evolve, and then you've got the E-Force Evolve, the E-Force Advance, and I believe there's an E-Force Performance one. So E-Force literally means, I think it's a bit of marketing, it's all-wheel drive. The Nissan ARIYA shares the platform, the CMF EV, with the Renault Megane E-Tech. Nissan and Renault have had an alliance since 1999. Makes it a little bit more easier when you're making cars, when you can share resources. But let's talk about visibility. I've got great visibility out the front. The rear window takes a little bit of getting used to because it's not the biggest rear window. I can see 3 big headrests behind me, but you get used to it. Now this is a mid-size SUV crossover, but it feels like it's got a bit of presence. We've driven ID4, ID5s, Ford Mark E, Skoda Enyaq, the Audi Q4. We've driven a lot on our channel here at Car Chat TV, but there's something about the Nissan ARIYA that it feels big and ever present. Even though it is that mid-size SUV, it just feels a little bit bigger. And I think I kind of like that. I think you get some good looks as well. You want to feel a little bit special when you're, forking out money buying a new car. By the way, this is £46,000. If you look at the website in the UK for a Nissan ARIYA, and this one is a great one that we've got a loan on because it's the entry 63 kilowatt hour Advance. 46,145, I believe, is what they go for on the website when you're speccing it. And I think that's pretty good. We'll talk a little bit more about competition in the market because I don't want to just bore you and waffle on. I just wanted to let you know about the visibility. Now, I'm coming up to some windy roads. I want to talk a little bit more about handling and suspension. So let's get up there and talk about that. Okay, let's go for a little walk around the Nissan ARIYA because it looks very different, doesn't it? And we'll talk about this color. This is called Akatsuki Copper, and you get the contrasting black roof with it. I think it's £1,225 as an option. The other option is the Sky Pack, the panoramic sunroof. That's £1,295. I really like the smoothness and the reductionism of the design of the Nissan ARIYA. We've seen it a little bit, haven't we, with the Qashqai and the new Duke. Just how everything is it's so simple and minimalistic and smooth. When you come around the side, it's one line, one belt line around the car. Everything else, it's pretty much flat. These wheels are the 19-inch. When you're speccing your ARIYA online, you get a 19-inch and a 20-inch aero design. I actually prefer the 19 inches. Let me know what you guys like, but that's me. And as we come around the back, you see this awesome wing where the air is allowed to come through the car, helping with the aerodynamics, getting that 251 miles of range. We've got a windscreen wiper as well. Some cars like the I-Pace get rid of it and just let the wind take it through. Not with Nissan, they give you that as well. I love all the new badging. I think it looks really futuristic, spaced out, works really well. One thing I don't like on electric cars is the green. It's optional. I would get new number plates. I would get rid of that, just have normal ones, because that extra bit of color, it just doesn't make the car, it makes the car look a little bit busy. I like it to look sleek. I like what they've done here. Again, it's subjective, but numbers don't lie. Nissan are doing well with sales at the moment, and I predict the ARIYA will do rather well when people take it out on a test drive. What do you guys think about the looks of the Nissan ARIYA? Let me know in the comments below. 0 to 62 miles per hour time, Oliver's favourite. Now we know it's not a performance car, but Nissan say 7.5 seconds. I'm going to drive mode and get it in sport, so everything is go faster performance. I'm in D. Let's see what it's like. Ready? How much headbang am I going to get? It is progressive, but now it's kicking up a bit. Whoa, it's moving a bit on the road. There we go, there we go. That's not too bad, that's not too bad. Remember, it's a heavy car. It's going to be fast enough for any family to get out of there. And even in sport mode, which is the most performance out of all the modes, you know, you've got standard and eco. Even in sport mode, it's still very progressive. It's not stamp and Tesla speed. But again, this is more of a luxury premium, chilling out, cruising mid-size SUV for the family. It's all about cruising. So you know what? I'm putting it back in eco and I'm saving my miles. Let's talk about suspension and handling. Just so you know, we've got McPherson struts on the front and a multi-link rear suspension. And on the A roads, on the B roads, overall it's really good. It's really good for what it is. No one is going to have any complaints. Now the steering is great. It's very precise for what you need to do. I've had a few corners already, and I do like having fun with EV cars because coming from, you know, internal combustion engine cars, I love feeling all the different feedback you get from those cars. It's very mechanical. You feel everything working. And with EVs, they can feel numb, right? Because they're just so easy. It's like jumping in a Dodgems car and it just goes. You can feel a little bit of roll there. That's going to happen. Oh, we got a corner here. Whoa, going a little bit hot there. But you know what? Steering's fine. It handles it. This is a great road, by the way. What a test for the ARIYA on steering. You know what? Look at that. Through. So it does everything you need. And with those different modes, you can lighten up the steering as well, sport being the stiffest. But overall, I think anybody that test drives one of these is going to be impressed with the suspension and the steering. Let's talk about some competition, other cars that are out there in the market that compete with the ARIYA. This starts at 46k, like we said. Tesla Model Y is a big seller at the moment. In fact, it was the biggest sold car in the UK, over 8,000 units, and that starts at 45k if you get the rear-wheel drive version. And I think with the Tesla Model Y, if you're looking at that, you're looking at 289 miles of range. If you get the 19-inch alloys, I think 20 inches drop it down. We've got the Kia EV6, that's around 45k. The Ioniq 5, 43k. The Mustang Mach-E, that's a little bit more expensive, around 51k. That starts, that's good fun, that car. We've got a review on that car as well. And then the more frugal options, right? The ID4 and the Skoda Enyaq. You can get the 60 IV version, I think, where you've got a little bit less range, but they're around 39k, £39,000. But again, the interior just doesn't compare to something like this of the Nissan ARIYA. So I think this is a good point, the 46k. Obviously you've got the Model Y that we spoke about, 1k under. We're yet to review a Model Y. I would love to jump in one and see. We've done a Model 3, but I would love to know what you guys think. Put it in the comments right now, what would you have over the Nissan ARIYA? Okay, with me, as always, I've got Adam sitting in the rear seats of this Nissan ARIYA. So I'm going to throw it back to him and find out how he's feeling, comfort levels. Adam, talk to me.
So we're in the back of the ARIYA, and I am actually quite pleasantly surprised because I wasn't really sure what to make of the car. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like really big or really small, or if it was a saloon. I didn't really know, but it's quite a good sort of crossover actually. And let me just show you my leg room, because that's quite important. So my leg room, I've actually got tons of it. So I've got loads of leg room and enough headroom. Now if you're quite a tall boy or girl, you might struggle, but for me it's okay. The doors are quite cool, so the windows are quite sort of like long, so it lets in quite a lot of light. And I would say the actual seats themselves are fairly comfortable. I'd say the ride is not too soft, so it's comfortable, but it's not sort of, you do feel lumps and bumps. But yeah, overall, my review of the back, it's not too bad.
The interior of the Nissan ARIYA, I think for me, is the biggest thing that has impressed me. I just think it's so different. It's next level. I love just the illumination of the buttons, how touch sensitive they are. It takes a bit of getting used to, but when you're used to it, it's fine. The faux wood is kind of traditional, but it's a modern take as well. And the rugs, we spoke earlier with the rugs. I'm not going to go over all the features, but I love the rugs. But my favourite, the LED. The LED lighting. Normally we get strip LED lightings for ambient, but with Nissan, they're kind of letting us into a little bit of a story here, because the parallelograms and the hexagon that are fused together, creating this lantern effect. Now in Japan, they use bamboo lanterns, put a candle in it with a paper front, and as the candle lights through, you get this effect, and I love it. And believe me, I'm probably going to butcher this saying, but Toronagashi simply means floating lantern. And when someone passes, they put these floating lanterns on the river, allowing them to float and guiding the souls and the spirits towards peace. And I just think Nissan have done a great job. It's just thinking out of the box, going above and beyond on the design side of doing something different with the LED lighting and kind of teaching us a little bit about their culture and history. And I think it's next level. What other cars tell a story like that? Another cool thing, Nissan has borrowed the same science in making a very supportive seat. And I can feel it, the seats are very supportive. And when I was doing my research in the car, NASA use a scientific method to get neutral body position with astronauts in the space shuttles. And Nissan have done the same thing. They've borrowed the same technology. So when you're talking to your mate and they've got an EV and you say you've got the ARIYA, you can say, literally, my seats have been designed by NASA, which means my car could go to space. Can yours? Let's do a demonstration of the Nissan ProPilot. So I'm going to press it on here, activate, and then I'm going to flick this little lever down to set, and there we go. And it sets to whatever miles per hour you have it on. And now I can just, obviously I'm putting my hands on the wheel, I can put this up to move the speed up and down, and then set the distance from the car in front. Now I don't have a car in front of me at the moment, but you can see on the display, I'm going a little bit slow because it's a demonstration, but it's very, very easy to do. And you know, it's a smart cruise control system. We've got another little button down here which you can turn on, which is the steering assist on. I think that only works when you are on the ProPilot. When that is on, you'll see the green steering wheel go green on your screen. At the moment it's greyed out, partly because I think the left side at the moment there isn't a white line, so the sensors can't pick it up, but it's still doing the cruise control bit. This probably isn't the best road to do it on, but I wanted to just demonstrate it for you anyway. The best place to do it on is, you know, A roads and motorway driving. But it is a really cool autonomous bit of kit that works really well when it all registers. I want to talk to you a little bit about the D and B drive modes on the gear selector. Now, this is what I have found with my experience, and I'd love to know when you guys use what. But when I've got it on D, A roads and motorway driving, because in D mode, when you lift off, the weight of the car makes the car move forward and coast. When you've got it in B, I use that for town driving, or if I'm going down a hill, I can feel the car harvest back into that battery. If I've got it B on the motorway and I'm going the speed limit and I let go, sometimes it's a bit jolty and I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to do that on the motorway. So D for motorway and A roads, and B for town driving, and also down, you know, down hills. I jab it in that because, you know, we're tight, we want to get our miles back. And then you've got the E pedal, right? So we click this on and it even harvests more back into the battery, even when I'm in B mode. And if I lift off the pedal completely, does it come to a firm halt? No, it's still tickling along just a little bit. So it's near enough, but you're never going to need it to do that anyway. Now, one thing I want to find out from people that actually own ARIYAs is how many miles have you been getting on your charge? I got it delivered to me with an 80% charge. I don't have a wall box, so I used a wall plug, 2.3 kilowatt, and it was 80%, and I did it to 100%. It took me 5.5 hours, 5.5 hours. So that was a bit annoying. but also today I've driven to go and get Adam and obviously do some filming, and I've noticed that the miles have dropped quite quickly. I haven't really been gunning the car. I've been keeping it on eco mode in the drive mode, but I was at sort of 86%. I'm at 65% now, 120 miles left, which I think it's kind of drained quite quickly maybe. And it's a cold and bit of a windy day as well. I mean, in the UK, it's not the best for weather. If you're not from the UK, basically, it's just cold all the time for the rest of our lives. But I would love to know, how have you found it, Nissan ARIYA owners out there? Let me know in the comments below. So that has been our review on the Nissan ARIYA, the 63 kilowatt hour version. Well, let's talk about what we've done. Let's summarize what we found out. It's a very easy car. It's like plug and play. You jump in, you go. Again, subjective about the looks, but I'm sure hopefully some of you will tell me what you think about the car. I think it's a good option. The one thing that I love about, and what I would tell others about the Nissan ARIYA, is the interior. I love the story it tells with the LED lighting, the faux wood. It's just so different, and I haven't seen an approach to an interior like that in another car, in an all-electric vehicle. So that's what has won me over. I really like it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, if you like the episode, throw us a like, get subbed, and I'll see you on the next one.